So we're just gonna make a basic ferret hammock. It's one of the easier things to make for them. You're just going to need some pins, obviously. Those always help. Your 2 pieces of fabric you're gonna use, 4 strips to hang it up with. I just use 1 by 4 inch fleece strips. You want it to go the way that's less stretchy, like this way, because fleece goes 2 ways. There's a stretchy way like that, and then the more solid way, and you don't really want your strips stretching out and getting loose and everything like that. Fabric, usually with prints, there's a really pretty side that usually that's the side you want showing, and then there's the more faded, not so pretty side. So whatever side you want showing, you want to put that together with your fleece. Like this is the less pretty side. I have the vibrant side underneath it. So you're gonna sew that into it, if that makes sense, because later we're gonna flip it out and then the pretty side's gonna be on the outside. With your strips, you want to first fold them in half and then put them inside, because like I said before, we're gonna flip it inside out later. So everything that's on the inside is going to be on the outside later. So it wouldn't do you much good if you left it on the outside and then flipped it out. Then you had nothing to hang it up from. So let's just make sure they're at an angle so you don't sew the strip itself onto the fabric, because you want it to be able to flip out and be like that instead of sewn onto there where you can't open it. Okay, so we're coming up on our next corner. Don't forget, every corner you come to, you have to put in the little tabbies. Let's do this. Went up a little far, but that's okay. Tuck it in there all nice and neat. Let's take this one. Actually, that one can stay there. And then just continue sewing. I should probably mention, when sewing fleece, you want to help it along from the back, because it'll pull the fleece a lot slower or a lot faster than the top will go through, so it'll be all lopsided and uneven later. So when you're sewing, just kind of help pull it. Okay, now I usually like to leave my little opening in the middle right here, so I'm going to back up a little bit just to tie off that seam so it doesn't come loose later and catch little nails. Pull that out. I'm going to start on this side. You don't want to close it all the way through, because if you do that, then you can't pull it inside out, and then that just makes life a lot harder. So we're going to put this in here and get that little strip to move. Okay, right there, put it down. I want to move that. Keep in mind where your last little opening is, because you want to leave, for this much fabric, probably about 1.5 inches of space so you can pull it all through. Make this where it'll be safe. Alright. So now you basically have your inside out hammock. You can see I have a ton of extra fabric on the edges, just so it's not all lumpy when I pull it out through later. I'm gonna go through and cut off all the excess, make sure all my tabbies are in there nice. Yep, yep. Yep, that one's gonna be a little small, but that's okay. Yep, we're good. There it is, okay. So I did make it a little smaller than initially planned, but it's easier if you get the farthest corner. Since this is the middle, they kind of are all far. You're just gonna pull it out. Now we almost have a hammock. We just got to close up this last little edge here. This is the only part of your hammock that will have seams exposed. That's the cat. Okay. So you want to make these pretty much as tight as you can without getting your sewing machine all hooked up on itself. Let's make sure that's all set and good. Alrighty. Get it pretty close to the edge. So, forgot to mention this in the beginning, but you might want something to actually hang it with, like lanyard hooks. Just get them at $1 or for $1 at Joann's. And you now have a hammock.